27-year-old big man listed as Warriors trade target. Jakob Poeltl of the San Antonio Spurs, who was linked to the Golden State Warriors. It's been a rough season for the Golden State Warriors thus far, and while they've started to turn things around, their ugly start still haunts them. They currently sit at 11-11 on the season, placing them in 9th place in the Western Conference standings. Their bench has struggled mightily this season, and, in turn, some have begun throwing around potential trade ideas. According to Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report, one player the Warriors should target is San Antonio Spurs big man Jakob Poeltl. Golden State has struggled finding stability at center when Kevin Looney or Draymond Green aren't manning the middle, Buckley wrote. That gig was supposed to belong to James Wiseman, but he's down in the G League, and not exactly lighting the hoops world on fire down there. At 27 years old, Poeltl isn't an all-star caliber player, but he's a solid starter, and the Warriors would have the luxury of bringing him off their bench. And so far this season, he's put together a great season for the Spurs. Poeltl has appeared in 20 of San Antonio's 22 games this year, playing 27.3 minutes per contest. The big man is averaging 12.9 points, 9.9 rebounds, and 3.5 assists on 64% shooting from the field. Warriors defense would receive help. On the offensive end, Poeltl would provide the Warriors with a more reliable big man in the middle. He's not a great post scorer, but with guys like Jordan Poole, Stephen Curry, and Klay Thompson around him, he wouldn't need to be. That being said, Poeltl will be able to help the Warriors on the defensive end, as they've been subpar on defense this year. Poeltl would be perfect in Golden State, Buckley explained. He'd beef up its 22nd ranked defense, grease the offense with solid screens and slick passes, and address this group's rebounding woes. A Poeltl for Wiseman, and maybe an extra asset, swap makes too much sense for both sides. So far this year, the Warriors ranked just 21st in defensive rating, 113.3, but the number gets worse when looking at their bench unit. Their bench ranks 24th in the NBA in defensive rating, 59.3. Warriors previously linked to Poeltl. Buckley's suggestion of a Poeltl trade isn't the first time Golden State has been linked to the Spurs big man. According to Eric Pincus of Bleacher Report, some executives around the league believe that Golden State could covet a guy like Poeltl. Beyond adding a versatile defensive wing in Crowder, competing executives believe the Warriors covet additional size in a player like Jakob Poeltl of the San Antonio Spurs or Miles Turner of the Indiana Pacers. The Spurs cannot give Poeltl an adequate extension, limited to just under $13 million, and face losing him as an unrestricted free agent this summer. Unlike Turner, Poeltl may be more readily available as San Antonio, 6-12, focuses on a rebuild, Pincus wrote. Insider spills the tea on status of Warriors Draymond Green dynamic. Golden State Warriors star during a game against the New York Knicks. In the days immediately following the training camp altercation between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole, hoopheads were skeptical about the Golden State Warriors' ability to move past the incident and give their all for a time. Those questions were given new life when the Dubs stumbled out of the gate. Now that the team looks to have turned the corner, though, its Tuesday heartbreaker in Dallas notwithstanding, one can't help but wonder what the current dynamic is between Green and his teammates. From the outside looking in, some fences look to have been mended. But have cooler heads truly prevailed? Warriors insider Anthony Slater sounded off on Draymond's status with the club on the November 30th episode of his podcast for The Athletic, Warriors Plus Minus. And while the Ballers' reintegration after punching Poole is a continuing process, Green looks to be doing about the best job possible in winning back trust. Slater, Draymond has been delightful behind the scenes. Over his last 6 games, Green has averaged 11.2 points, 7.8 assists, 5.8 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks per game for Golden State. Meanwhile, he has connected on a jaw-dropping 71.1% of his attempts from the field, as well as 40% from three-point range. According to Slater, the vibes surrounding him in the locker room have been at least as good as those counting stats.